Hello, beautiful beings. Today I want to talk to you about how calendars influence our consciousness and thus affect the way we perceive reality, and why changing the calendar can help us change the way we look at the world. I've touched this topic in previous videos, but I really wanted to highlight it in this way. Calendars, which are basically different templates of time, have such a big influence over our lives because all our collective values and belief systems are embedded in the calendar that we use. So what is a calendar? It's a system which divides time into different periods during the course of a solar year. Through calendars is how we organize ourselves individually and collectively. For millennia, humans observed the rhythms of days and nights, the waxing and waning of the moon, the movement of the sun, the cycle of the seasons, and they used these cycles to measure time and to thus organize their activities around them. Because of this, human activity used to be in flow with the rhythm of nature. The most basic way that we use calendars in our modern world is to categorize days, to separate the working days and the holidays, to mark out special dates or celebrations, to gain information about past dates or future dates so that we can plan our future. The calendar, in the way we use and understand it today, has basically become a tool for keeping track of our busy schedule, meetings, or activities, and to keep track of things like the day we need to pay our rent, when we get our salary, and so on. So our life is very much intertwined with the Gregorian calendar that we're using today on a global scale. So much so that we aren't even aware of how embedded it is into our consciousness. For example, how many times haven't you woken up with dread that, today is Monday, or with joy in your heart that, yay, today is Saturday and I get to sleep in? So it even seems to have the power to influence our mood on certain days. That's how embedded it is into our consciousness. If back in the day calendars were about aligning us to the natural order, things kinda went down a twisted turn. The Gregorian calendar is a calendar which does not take into consideration any of the natural cycles. It is a system developed for mainly economical, political, and religious purposes, lacking any kind of spiritual meaning or significance. Not only that, but the Gregorian calendar is a very disharmonious calendar with uneven months and a leap day every 4 years. Its irrational division of time and its irregular structure have a very big impact on our mind and our consciousness and our perception of the world. Well, actually, calendars of any kind can have a big impact on our mind and our perception, and this is because, as I've mentioned in previous videos, time is the dimension of our mind. It's a mentally perceived phenomenon, whereas space is something that we can measure through our senses. So if time is the dimension of our mind, then calendars as timekeeping systems have the power to influence our thoughts, which influence our reality and our perception of it. If you want to go down the rabbit hole and explore the concept of time in further depth with me, you can watch the videos What is Time?, The Spiritual Aspects of Time, Time and Consciousness, and Time is Art. Time is the fourth dimension of our mind, which actually contains the third dimension of space within it, not the other way around. What we've done is that we've taken this fourth dimension of infinite time and mind, and we've tried to squeeze it inside our third dimension of space and to measure it with the tools available here. We've applied the metrics of space to measure time, so no wonder we're devoured by a materialistic belief system if even the infinite dimension of our mind is transformed into something material, quantifiable. Therefore, our consciousness ends up chained into the material dimension, ignoring the existence of all subtle dimensions in this process. So if time is the fourth dimension of our mind, a calendar can implant different programs in our internal operating system that influence our perception. So we can kind of say that calendars are like a consciousness shaping tool. The Gregorian Calendar is a system anchored in materialism, consumerism. It's actually the foundation for the globalist society and the paradigm time is money. It makes us put the pursuit of material goods as our main objective. And this uneven, chaotic, disharmonious, and irregular structure of the Gregorian calendar pollutes our mind and it numbs our senses, creating a lot of inner chaos, confusion, disharmony, and it does so to the point where we accept a system clearly not designed for our benefit without even questioning it. And all this is actually contributing to the chaos that is unfolding in the world today, conditioning us to believe that there is no other way for us to live on this planet. The programs imprinted through the Gregorian calendar makes us accept concepts such as taxes, war, money, government, deforestation, burning of fossil fuels, dumping of industrial waste in our water supply, and it makes us take all of them as such without even questioning them. It reinforces a materialistic collective belief system disconnected from nature and the natural time. And most of us are following this collective belief system unconsciously, like a program operating somewhere in the background that we don't even know it's there. The implication of this program, where it's all about making more money, having more things, working long hours, overworking ourselves to the point of exhaustion and meltdown, the implications are far more dangerous than we can understand. These programs and this distorted perception of time are part of the reason that we are so torn apart from the natural order of things, from nature's cycles, and from ourselves, to the point where we begin to even feel superior to nature. But we are part of nature in the same way that nature is within us. So if we are out of sync with nature, this means we are out of sync with ourselves. Disconnecting from nature's cycles, wisdoms, and teachings makes us disconnect from ourselves, from our body, and it makes us forget about our soul and its power. The disharmonious Gregorian calendar is one of the reasons for the imbalances in our environment and the imbalances within ourselves. And this is because it programs us to deviate from the laws of nature. Also, keep in mind that all the institutions of the modern world are embedded in this calendar system. And this is exactly why changing the calendar is something that can have a huge impact on the world we live in. It means that we take our power back from these institutions which support the materialistic narrative and belief system. And we need to really understand that a calendar's true purpose should be to synchronize human society with the natural cycles of time, and it should be more like an operating system which helps us keep track of the cycles of nature and the cycles of our own inner being. Since time is the infinite dimension of our mind, when we start using such a calendar, our mind will begin to harmonize with nature itself. Then, as we do this, all of society can enter a state of harmonization with the biosphere, with itself, and with one another. Now, if you're new to my channel and you're watching this video, you're probably asking yourself at this point, well, okay, what should we change it with? Well, the 13 moon calendar is a system based on the harmonic cycles of the Earth, the Moon, and the Sun. If you're new to all of this, make sure you check out the video, The Structure of the 13 Moon Calendar, to understand more about it. This 13 moon calendar with 28 days each is a template used on this planet for more than 6,000 years by very many different cultures around the world. And you can watch the video 13 moon calendars throughout history to dive deeper into this topic. And this is because it is a system that actually makes a lot of sense. The moon revolves around the Earth 13 times, while the Earth rotates once around the sun. So it makes sense to have 13 months within a year and not 12. If you want to dive deeper into the context and the implications of the 13th month being extracted from the calendar system we now use, you can watch the video 13, the moon and the sacred feminine energy. The harmonious structure of the 13 moon calendar, where every month is the same length, and its cyclical nature will help bring a lot more harmony into our mind and our consciousness. So when we change the calendar, as Jose Arguelles beautifully says, we change our mind, we change our operating program, we change the way we think, the way we look at the world, the way we look at ourselves. We basically rearrange our whole conceptual thinking framework. Changing the calendar means we change who we are as humans, how our mind works, how we interact with the world and one another. Changing the calendar means we go through a fundamental transformation down to the very core of our being and the foundation of our society. By using the 13 moon calendar with 13 equal months, 28 days each, our timekeeping system becomes a tool which synchronizes us with the natural cycles. Because 28 isn't only the number of days within a lunar cycle, it is also the number of days that it takes for the sun to rotate around its diameter. The 1320 matrix is a key for us to collectively attune to the natural cycles and to begin harmonizing once again with nature. And this way, we begin entering higher levels of mental evolution and spiritual awareness. And as we harmonize with our environment, we begin harmonizing with ourselves and with our soul. Then we can once again begin to experience ourselves as cosmic beings, and we can consciously join the infinite cosmic dance of creation and the dance of our own evolutionary process as we spiral our way through the never-ending cycles of the galaxy. So that is it for today. If you have any questions about the Dreamspell Calendar, which actually contains the 13 moon calendar alongside the beautiful system of the Tolkien, or if you're interested in getting a galactic signature decoding session where you begin to understand more about the energy your soul has chosen to embody within this lifetime, you can send me a message either on my Facebook page, my Instagram, or on my email. Wishing you a beautiful day in Lak'Ech.